Now, in the first such interaction after the controversial remarks by former BJP spokesperson, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar will meet the senior leadership of Saudi Arabia during his 2-day visit to the kingdom. This is also Jaishankar's first official trip to the Gulf country as External Affairs Minister. Now, he arrived in the Saudi capital Riyadh yesterday. Speaking at an event, the EAM highlighted the Vande Bharat mission, under which 70 million people were brought back from all over the world. Here's what S. Jaishankar said.
In fact, the real, I would say, achievement, national achievement for us was that a country which did not make masks, which did not make ventilators, people had not even heard this term PPE, which all of us today think is just another word. And we could not only produce what 1.3 billion people needed, but we could also set up centers for dedicated treatment of people who had come down with COVID. 2 years of COVID, I think the country came through the test. And what was different this time was that we were able to produce vaccines in very large numbers. So there was made in India vaccine available for 1.3 billion people. We also had our own vaccines, starting with one, but now a few more. And so this time something different took place in India, which was in terms of the vaccination. We were not a country which was left behind. We pretty much did it at the same time as everybody else. We saw our friendships, our international friendships also deliver at that point of time. Saudi Arabia, for example, was very helpful with supply of oxygens and both with liquid medical oxygen as well as with containers. And that is a time people speak about friendships and relationships and international cooperation. We talk about attachment of the country to its diaspora and of the diaspora for the motherland. We saw this all demonstrated in 2021.
All right, so that was S. Jaishankar in Riyadh yesterday talking about India and Saudi relations as well as COVID situation through which the whole world had been through. I have Major Mohammad Ali Shah still with me on the broadcast. So, sir, we know that S. Jaishankar, as an External Affairs Minister, is visiting Saudi Arabia for the first time, and this is also after some comments that were made by the BJP spokesperson. Now, how do you think that this India-Saudi relationships are going to flourish after this visit?
Well, see, the India and Saudi Arabia relationships have been quite cordial, actually. My father was the defense attaché there, an Indian diplomat way back in the mid-90s. And I personally used to go there and I would see the Arabs. They were quite good with they were quite cordial with India. Now, when the BJP spokesperson Nupur Sharma gave those remarks, the controversial remarks, and the Gulf countries made a big noise about it. And of course, I mean, it wasn't in good taste. So there was a scar which was left behind on the diplomatic and political relationships with the Gulf countries. Now, when an external affairs minister who's already in Riyadh, and a place where I have spent reasonable amount of time, when he's already there, and I'm certain by his competency and by his capability and the dynamic leader that he is, I'm sure he will be able to build bridges once again, and our relation with the Gulf countries, not just Saudi Arabia, but overall, are going to be fine soon. They are, I mean, there's nothing wrong. We really didn't really burn our bridges with them or anything. But most certainly, our relationships with them is going to strengthen. And I'm sure Mr. Jaishankar, he is He's been the foreign secretary earlier. He knows very well how to handle diplomatic ties, political ties. He would be able to handle it in a very nice and a very, very mature way. Fida.
All right, Major Shah, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast and giving us your insights. I also have my colleague Urvashi joining us. So, Urvashi, S. Jaishankar on a visit to Saudi. Now, this is his first trip as foreign minister. What is the information that we are gathering?
Well, Jaishankar's visit will provide an opportunity to somewhere reset the bilateral ties, and this is certainly in the backdrop of what has happened in past some time when there were certain comments from the party to which Jaishankar belongs before being a minister. And then we all know that how the Saudi Arabia went ahead and commented on the same. Now, during the visit, what we understand is that S. Jaishankar will co-chair the inaugural ministerial meeting of Committee on Political, Security, Social and Cultural Cooperation. And this is all going to happen under the framework of India-Saudi Arabia Strategic Partnership Council, where Saudi Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan will also be there. And this is basically an apex body for giving strategic direction between the two countries and the ties that we share with Saudi Arabia. The focus is certainly on political, security, socio-cultural relation and defense cooperation like issues. There will be a kind of comprehensive review that will happen among the two ministers of bilateral relationship, and they will discuss progress under the 4 joint working groups of political and consular, legal and security, social and culture, and joint committee on defense cooperation. So these are the groups and the senior officials who have been meeting since over past few months before this meet happened. And yes, that's the whole program. In fact, during the visit, External Affairs Minister will also meet other Saudi dignitaries as well as Secretary General of the Gulf Cooperation Council, who is Dr. Naif Falah Mubarak Al-Hazra. And again, the bilateral relations will be reviewed. And we see that there will be ways to discuss to enhance the same. So both sides will discuss the regional and international issues of mutual interest, including their cooperation at UN, G20 and GCC.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.